Okay, here's another one, number 5. If P then Q, and if Q then R, then P then R. And if P then R. So I've got the statement up here all set up. So so in here, just do the construction. If P then Q, we know we're going to have a false here, a false here. The rest of them are trues. If Q then R, we got a false here, and another one down here. It's a true followed by a false, and a true followed by a false in here. The rest of them must be true. Okay, this is an and statement now. So in here, this result will be true, because 2 trues. This will be true, so we have 2 trues. And here are 2 more. The rest must be false. Okay, now back over here. This one, if P then R, so we have a false here. P then R, and then we have another false here. And the rest must be true. So now we take these 2 columns and form the third one. We look for a true followed by a false. I don't see any. Well, every true here is followed by a true. So that means they all must be true. Which means it's valid. By the way, this one's called law of the syllogism. Okay, you can read about that in the text. This next one. Okay, this is more of an application problem because we have to do the conversion first. So I did that. I made the president resigning statement P. Vice president becomes president. That would be statement Q. So those are really the two simple statements that are within all of this. Okay, so and the conversion, we could read this, would be if P then Q. If the president resigns, then the VP becomes president. Okay, also we have, in addition to that, the vice president becomes president. So that's statement Q down here, premise 2. And then therefore, it's our conclusion, president of the art club resigned. So therefore P. So then over here, we can fill up our table. Here's our usuals. And here we want, we'll put this if P then Q. And we'll have an and Q, all of that, P. So this is what we're seeing. Okay, so constructing this one, we've got a false here, and the rest are true. Q, just copy it over, TF, TF. And here we must have a true, Here are the true. These are falses. And is only true if there are two truths connecting. Okay, then this one now will be used over here. P is copied down. True, true, false, false. Now combine these, look for a true followed by a false. I see one here. So as soon as you see one of those, you know automatically it's invalid. But you can fill in the rest of the chart. But we know it's invalid. Okay. And this one happens often enough. It has a name. It's called the fallacy of the converse. Okay, so if you think back about the question that we were working with here, if if the president resigns and the VP becomes president, if we assume that's true, then if Q happens, in other words, Q is true, the VP became president, does that imply that the VP or the president himself resigned? Well, you know there are more ways for the VP to become president. What if, for example, the president he didn't resign, but he was maybe impeached. And he didn't resign, he was impeached. In that case, maybe the VP would become president. So you can't assume that just because you got the VP became president that it was because the president resigned. There are other ways to become a VP. So that's why it's considered a fallacy of the converse.